did I start working with you?
I think we started working, I want to say it was like late 2015. Because we opened the doors to the studio in August. I think you either came like that winter or like that next spring.
You were actually, I think, my third client ever in a studio.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Before that, I had worked a lot. I don't know. Did I seem like I had a bunch of experience when you started working with me?
Yeah.
I did?
Yeah.
Good. I didn't actually work in a studio until Unlabeled.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
So.
Yeah, you came off like you knew what you were doing.
Where were you getting your beats at that time?
So honestly, I was pulling a lot of my beats like most rappers, either from like YouTube or I surfed a lot on SoundClick. I would spend hours just trying to find the right beat. The only beats for my very first project, Wildest Imaginations, that were executively produced for that project was the first one, Off Switch, which was produced by this cat named Valiant out in the mountains of like Virginia, and then of course Windmill, which was produced by Matt Peters.
And we brought Rachel McMillan in?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that was the one and only time that I ever saw her sing. After we had done a couple tracks, I don't know, I think you had gotten a couple beats from Craig Smith around that time too, right?
I have a beat from Craig Smith that he made that I plan to use on this album that we're going to start working on. I think it's the only beat I've ever actually gotten from him.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I had this impression that you had worked with Craig Smith a lot before me, so I had something to live up to. I was like, all right, I got to make a better beat than Craig Smith.
He did make the Secret Amos beat that was super dope. Like watching him do the cadences for the snares on the music note stand was just because he just did it all in one take. It was like, this dude's a monster.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Breaking Point?
Yeah.
That was the first beat. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you still chat with him or?
No. Honestly, like we kind of lost touch after everyone scattered from the Unlabeled camp.
Hopefully he's still rapping.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I mean, he had dope bars, dope energy all the time, and he just came ready.
Mm-hmm. Right?
Well, so actually, initially, we were trying to work on the revamp of Wildest Imaginations. So I wanted to have, like, executive production for every single song. Mm-hmm. We were doing remixes. I was doing features and collaborations with people that I didn't have access or resources to at the time. And we were also trying to work simultaneously on the R&B project that we had talked about. We'd kind of structured out. Mm-hmm.
Because I was trying to get him to sing. He never really wanted to sing. I really liked his voice, and so there was a period where he didn't want to sing, and you could tell he was like kind of shy about it, but he'd sing around the studio. He'd just be like singing while I was mixing, and I'm like, why didn't you add this in?
Yeah, I would just, I was a lot more comfortable like either singing somebody else's song, because I'd actually written Breaking Point. I was going to have somebody else sing it, because I wasn't comfortable enough with my own voice, but when we laid the demo or like the reference track, you're like, no, that's going to stay.
Mm-hmm. What was the first song that you actually sang all the way through? Is that I'm Sorry?
Yes.
So that was produced by Lucrative, or no?
Lovestone.
He was on it. No, yeah, Lucrative was on it, but Lovestone. Shout out to Lovestone.
Shout out Lovestone, bro.
One of my favorite songs from the remix project was As Real As It Gets Part 2, but that didn't end up going on a remix project. That actually made it to the next album, which was
For the Time Being, yeah. And that was more, I mean, it was an album, but it was more of a compilation just because of like the songs that we had worked on so far together, like the Windmill remix that we did, the acoustic version, As Real As It Gets Part 2.
I received the most feedback about the Lucifer Effect. I think it was because the beat, I really put my foot in that one.
Yeah, that one was gas.
All right, so after we went through For the Time Being, how long was it before you had decided on doing the next project?
Almost immediately.
Almost immediately?
Almost immediately. So we dropped For the Time Being in January of 2019. And that was my first full-length project since Wildest Imaginations. And so after we did it For the Time Being, I really just wanted to stay consistent in content and putting out more music, pushing myself to write more, to be more fluid, and just kind of stay on top of it and not fade away.
At this point, I had moved. So I moved out to San Jose, and I think I came back for 4th of July.
Yeah.
I know we recorded the Rockstar vocals.
Yeah.
We recorded B.O.B.'s vocals.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, we did DFM.
Correct.
So we did those three. I have a great memory. This was in Studio B.
Yeah.
I mean, when there was still carpet in there.
Yes, when there was still carpet in there.
So from there, I went back to San Jose, and I don't think that we really talked about what was going to happen moving forward. I knew I was going to remake the beat.
Yeah.
I'm actually proud of the vocal mix on the hook of that one, because if you hear the original and then you hear the one right afterwards, the two for comparison. I've been on a mission, working, grinding every day until I don't know if I'm actually going to keep that or not, but if you listen to the two to comparison, it was just really interesting. I tried to throw a lot more like distortion and dirt in that one than I normally do.
Yeah.
Which is something I'm always appreciative of Josh. He's always been able to push me to make stuff that I wasn't really planning on making at the time. And so that's helped me further my career as an artist as well. So kudos to you.
I would definitely say the same. I feel like with regards on like singing and just being more comfortable, and especially doing harmonies, because like as a fan and as a listener, like I've always loved hearing harmonies from singers, you know, of every genre. And so like having you push me to be able to hit my own or to find those pockets has definitely helped me push myself as an artist in that regard.
Sweet. So, see, we had a little
thank you.
moment there.
It's a little sincere moment.
We did get another feature on that one, a pretty solid one. We had DJ Prodigy do the talk box, and he really killed that one. That one's probably one of my favorite tracks on that project, but it's hard to go between that and DFM.
Yeah.
Because DFM is a really solid song as well.
Everyone knew that I could chop at that point. I did a lot of chopping on Lucifer Effect, Outkast, as well as It Gets Part 2, so I was really trying to change my approach to songs and not do so much chopping, not be so predictable.
Mm-hmm. Now we started a new chapter, and we are pretty close to finishing the first song for moving forward. So this next single should be coming out fairly soon.
Yeah, ideally the release date I want to have it on June 11th. Mm-hmm. Which is like almost 1 year to the date of one of these we put out before we drop Late Bloomer.
Excellent. So everyone be on the lookout for that. What has been your favorite song that we've worked on together?
Can I have like a top 5?
I'll give him 3.
Top 3. As Real as It Gets Part 2. I feel like the way that we did that one with the sample from the original with Ryan's voice and then having D-Mar and just like the whole vibe is just like, I could listen to that song over and over. DFM for sure, just because I feel like I really pushed myself vocally to actually make it like a serious R&B record outside of like I'm Sorry where I'm half singing, half rapping. Lucifer Effect, just because that beat goes hard. The change up we did on the second verse, like where it drops out and it just gets even more nasty, like those are probably like my top 3.
I'm gonna say my top one would be B.O.B.
Okay.
Just because it's a bop. Like it's
it's a serious bop.
If you haven't heard it, listen. Lucifer Effect. That one just, everything meshed so well in that.
So well.
And then my last one is going to be a curveball for him. He probably would never expect me to say this, but the Too Much remix.
Oh, wow.
With D-Mar's brother on the sax.
Yes.
Because that was the first time I'd ever recorded a sax player. And it was just like, dang, bro, like, you're hella good.
Yeah, he killed that sax, man. Like, I remember that session. He had practiced, rehearsed, and he just laid the whole thing. I think it was like one take.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he killed that.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot that's on my mind now. Just needed to